Jimbo's Garage.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, in today's video, we're going to be fabricating 4 steel columns. These columns are going to be 4 inches square, 250 wall thickness, or a 1/4 inch thick. And we're going to be welding those to some 12-inch square flat plate, 1 inch thick. And on the other end of the columns, we're going to be welding some buckets to accept some beams. This is going to be for a freestanding outdoor patio cover. For the welding process, we're going to look at a couple of different things. I'm finally going to get a chance to work off of the ProPulse 220 MTS on the different mode rather than the Mig mode. We're going to try the stick welding mode. We're going to go with the 3-pass method on one of the columns. Then we're going to switch over to the 2400 here. We're going to be using some 35 thousandths dual shield flux core. And then I'm going to jump up to the ProPulse 300 where we're going to be welding some 45 thousandths dual shield flux core. So it should be kind of interesting, kind of fun. We'll take a look at all these different processes. Let's get started on today's video.
All right, so I picked up the material for this project early on in the day, and I'm just getting it offloaded here off my truck. And this is the beauty about being able to back right up to my welding table and offload material. Those are the 4 columns, and these are the 4 column caps on the 4 12 by 12 by 1 inch thick steel plates. This is the material we're going to be needing to finish this project.
All right, before we get too far along in today's project, you know, Black Stallion is one of the channel sponsors here, and I had requested just a couple pair of shop working gloves just to do some miscellaneous stuff around the shop. And they sent me out this package. I have a feeling there's a little bit more than just a couple pair of shop gloves in here. Let's take a look and see what's inside. You know, Black Stallion Revco Industries is one of the top leading, in my opinion, manufacturers of welding apparel. I'm pretty picky about the gloves I use and the apparel and the sleeves and the jackets that I wear. I've been really happy with their products right here. So let's take a look and see what they got inside. Let me just grab my pocket knife here. What do you think about this? I call it my pocket knife. You know, I was at a knife show a few years ago, and I don't know about most of you guys, but I carry a small little pocket knife right here. This is just a Kershaw, and this my everyday use. I saw this at a knife show, and I just had to have it. Just it's kind of a joke, kind of a big thing. Can you imagine carrying this around your everyday pocket knife? Crazy. All right, let's take a look and see what's inside. Let's see what's inside right here. All right, these look like a pair of their BSX 2019 BSX TIG welding gloves right here. These are really super handy. I like these things. I've been using these a lot here this year. These things are pretty nice. Along with a pair of their the same line BSX 2019 Mig Welding Gloves. I really like the colors of these. It's dark, you know, they don't get dirty as fast. I really like the leather protection that they have right here on the back and in the front. You know, really nice gloves right here. All right, these are my all-time favorite. These are the GM 1510s. These are just miscellaneous. I use them for MIG welding. What I like about these ones right here is how soft this leather is. Conforms really nice to your hands. It's easy to work with. The dexterity is really good. These are my favorites right here, the GM 1510s. Pretty cool. I also mentioned them, and I was looking for some sleeves because, you know, I do have jackets and I do wear the jackets, but I also prefer these sleeves right here. Now this is something new that they've got right here. Maybe we'll try those out on these right here for this project. These are just regular cotton sleeves. You just wear those over your t-shirt right here. You see guys may see me wearing these in the videos. Pretty cool. I like these. You know, it's hot here in Southern California, and so you know, this is I like to be as comfortable as I can. These are some more sleeves right here. Now these are very similar to what I have right now. This is what I wear right now. And again, these provide really good protection. You know, this being leather right here, we get most of the brunt of the sparks and the spatter. It's really nice. I like them. Again, comfortable, lightweight. I haven't even got to the shop gloves that I requested here. Oh, the T150s. All right, so these are Mig Welding Gloves right here. I use them, or TIG Welding Gloves, I'm sorry. I use them for TIG welding. Again, really lightweight, really super smooth conforming to your hand. I've got some of the T50s here, a little bit longer sleeve that come up to here. But again, they're super lightweight, really nice protection. Good quality stuff. Ah, here we go. These are just some regular old shop work gloves right here. They call them mechanic gloves. You know, this is good, just general purpose gloves for working around the shop. You know, that's something that I'm lacking here, and these are going to be really handy to have. Again, another pair, something just a little bit different. This is from their tool hands line. Really super light, very comfortable, and like the same thing in a pair of camouflage. Really cool, very good, high quality products. If you guys are interested, you can check them out at revgoindustries.com, or they're available also on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for that. All right, thanks a lot, Black Stallion. Let's get started today's project.
All right, so we're getting started right here, and the first thing I need to do is shim up these 4-inch square tube columns. The plates are 12 inches square, so by getting these off the ground or off the table by 4 inches, it's just going to help us align this plate. Just tipping it into place right here, and I'm just going to use a fab block square to hold it from the back side, and then I'll be clamping it down with a fixture clamp to the weld table, and that's going to hold it into place. Before we tack this in, I just want to double check, be sure that we're 4 inches on all sides all the way around. It doesn't take much just to kind of tap things into place to get it to that 4 inches, and of course we want to check it for square and just bump things around, and just like that, we're ready to get this thing tacked up.
All right, so I got everything nice and square right here, and everything is clamped down and held into place. I do have a little bit of a gap right here, and this is because the tube from the metal supply store was not cut perfectly square. It's cut out a little bit out of square, but that's not going to hurt us. A little gap in there is actually going to be good for us. But I want to go ahead and use the MIG mode on the ProPulse 220 MTS, and we're going to just put a tack on all 4 corners right here to hold everything in place before we switch it over to the stick mode. So let's go ahead and do that.
All right, so like I said, it's just the machine is currently set up with MIG mode, and it's just easier for me to do 4 little bump tacks in all 4 corners, and then it's a pretty easy process to switch the machine over to the stick mode.
All right, so we're in the MIG mode right here, so to switch it over to the stick mode is really pretty easy. I'm just going to take the power lead to the machine right here. I'm going to unplug it. I've got my stick lead right here, and I'm going to plug it into the positive side, just like that. We are grounded. I'm going to take select mode and go to the stick mode, and we are set at 125 amps. And just like that, we're ready to go.
All right, before I get started, I like to use this Weld Clean 350 anti-spatter. This is just one of several products that CRC has to offer from their Weld Aid line. I like to use it on most of the stuff I use, especially my welding table. You know, spray this stuff on, and if I'm doing a lot of welding, when I'm done with it, it just literally just wipes off, and there's just no spatter at all. It keeps everything nice and clean. It's pretty cool. They got other products as well, like nozzle dips and stuff like that. Now I'm kind of rusty here. I haven't done any stick welding in a long time, so I'm just kind of working my way around the plate right here. And so far so good. It's working out pretty good. And this is the beauty about being able to do this. I like to do all processes as often as I can, and this particular project allowed me to be able to use these processes, without any problem at all. So this is working out pretty good. The stick welding doesn't look too bad. We're just finishing up the last of the first bead all the way around here.
Okay, so there's the first of 3 passes all the way around. Let's see if I can get something here. All right, so the second pass is going to go up on the top right here, and it's going to overlap by about 1/3 on the top all the way around. And then the final pass will be on the bottom third right here, and that'll be the cover pass all the way around. And so let's go ahead and get the top pass in, And let's just work on the third pass, and let's get this one here buttoned up. We'll move on to the next process.
All right, so I know I mentioned a third of the way or halfway over top of the bead works fine, just as fine too. I don't know if I mentioned that I am using a 1/8" 7018. I got these electrodes at usaweld.com, and they seem to be working pretty good all the way around. Just now finishing up the second pass, and we'll take a look at that.
All right, so there's the second pass on the top right there. Let me get a wire brush, brush this off. All right, so I've got the top pass in, we got the bottom pass and the top pass in, so we're gonna go for the final pass. This is the final third pass all the way around, and I'm gonna hit it on the very bottom side right here. It'll be a cover pass all the way around, and then this process will be complete. Let's do it.
All right, so, this has been kind of fun. I haven't done stick welding in a long time, and I might be just a little bit rusty, but I'm pretty pleased the way things are going in there so far. The 7018 is working pretty good, and I know that, I'm not a pipeline welder. Some of you guys out there might do this every day. I don't do it every day, but I'm thinking that this is probably pretty acceptable.
All right, so there it is. Let me get a wire brush on this here. All right, so there it is. That's the stick welding with the 7018 1/8" 3-pass method. That turned out pretty good all the way around. Let's try something different. Let's go with some 35,000 dual shield flux core and see what kind of results we get with that. I gotta admit, that was kind of fun. That was the first time I had a chance to use a stick mode on the 220 MTS. I gotta say, that worked out pretty good. That was very smooth arc, and I'm really happy with the way that worked out. So we're gonna go ahead on the second one right here. We're gonna try some 35,000 dual shield flux core. I don't think it's gonna be hot enough to burn it in one pass, so we'll try it again in the 3-pass method. We're going to be using the HTP 2400 here. Let me bring in and show you the settings. It's not much, it's a dial operated machine, but I'll show you what we're going to be doing, and then we'll go ahead and get started on this one. All right, let's go ahead and fire this machine up. Switch is on the front of this machine right here. Now there's not a lot of settings on this right here. It's old school transformer style, so we've got a wire feed rate right here, and I've got it set at about 8. I've got this dial on the max 4. And I've got this dial down here on 3. That seems to be the go-to for the 35,000 dual shield. That's what this machine is always spooled up with. Seems to work pretty good at those settings right there. So we're going to go ahead and leave it there, and let's go ahead and get started. Oh, one thing I also wanted to point out is this thing also operates off of 75-25, 75% argon, 25% CO2. And we're going to be running right at about 50 CFH.
All right, so here we go. Whoa, that's awfully bright. I know, I've been working an arc shot camera here recently, but I work in the shop by myself, and it is hard enough to run one camera and do the work, let alone run 2 or 3 cameras and try to pick up those arc shots. I'm sure you guys watching this channel watch a lot of other welding channels, and those guys have those cameras, and I'm sure you get the idea of what it looks like without the big flash right there. So what you might be seeing right here is, I think, what they call worm tracks with dual shield flux core. Sometimes you get that, sometimes you don't, and I don't really know the real reason. I don't know if it's gas or if it's wire or what it is, but every once in a while they show up. But you're going to see here in a little bit when we get to the third and final pass, the cover pass right here, that seems to go away. Now, I don't do this every day, so I'm not absolutely perfect at it, but I think I'm getting by. All right, so I think this is the very first of the final pass, and you can see that's starting to look pretty good. And all in all, for someone who doesn't do this all the time, I'm pretty pleased with the way that turned out, and I think that would be acceptable as well.
All right, well, that was kind of fun. You know, that went around there pretty smooth. It took a little less than half the time it did to do the stick mode method there, the 3-pass stick method. This is 3-pass dual shield 35 thousandths. Again, if you're looking for production, you might be leaning towards something like this. However, both of them worked out pretty good. I think they're equally as good, but we're not done yet. We got the ProPulse 300, and we might be able to sneak a single pass around one of these with some 45 thousandths dual shield. So let's give that a try and see how that works. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the mode right here. We are going to be doing a 45 thousandths to 75/25. We're not going to be using the pulse mode, so it's a standard. And I need to get back over here and select this to there. I'm plus a half a volt. I like that. We are going to turn the wire speed up to about, I don't know, I'm going to try 400 inches a minute here. And let's see how that works. Wow, that went in there smooth.
Whoa, super bright. Man, I'm telling you, there's a huge difference between the 2400 and the ProPulse 300 here, power-wise, and you can definitely feel it and you can definitely see it. You know, I got the first pass running in here, and it's laying in there super smooth and really nice, and I really don't think that we're going to be needing to do any kind of cover. We're getting some good penetration here, one timer all the way around this thing.
Okay, so that worked out pretty good. You know, if you're doing any kind of production work, such as some big metal stuff like this, I would suggest this is the route to go. Dual shield flux core, 35 or 45 thousandths wire, single pass, no problem covering that, and I did it in no time. The other ones is just, it's fun going through the different processes. I just wanted to show you guys the different processes, the stick welding mode with the 3 passes around there, and also the 35,000 dual shield flux core with the 3 passes. That was fun. Both of them turned out perfectly. This one right here was really good and super efficient. I got one more column left, and the only thing I can think of is maybe we're going to try some spray arc MIG. I think we'll take the ProPulse 220 MTS, wind it up to about 600 inches a minute, and see if we can lay a single pass of some spray arc MIG in here and see if that's going to be heavy duty enough to cover this plate. If not, we'll take a 5/32 70/18 and cap it. Let's do it.
All right, so this here is my favorite process by far, at least what I'm doing here today. This process is just so clean and fluid and super hot and good penetration. You can see the welds, how clean they are. It definitely is going to cover this, and we're not going to be able to, we're not going to need to put any kind of cover pass over this.
All right, so that worked out pretty good. That was a single pass of some spray arc MIG at 610 inches a minute. Good coverage right there. There's no need to cap this with a 32nd. So I'm just going to leave well enough alone. That was a lot of fun getting these plates on. Now let's get these buckets on and we'll finish up this project. Okay, I got these columns all turned around and we're ready to get these buckets, stirrups, saddles. Actually, they're called post caps. They're just they're just caps that fit on the end of these columns right here, and they accept, in this case, a 6x beam that's going to be going in here. Now, I used to make these myself by, this is 3/16 material, so I used to cut it, weld it all together, drill it all out. But by the time I did all that, it cost me more money to make these things than what these things actually cost. And this is actually a Simpson's Strong Type product. Now, any of you guys that are into construction know that Simpson's is the world's leading manufacturer of fasteners for concrete and framing. And the plans actually call out for this product right here. And so that's what we're going to be using. We're going to weld them right on the very end right here. It's fairly simple. I'm going to get them all plumb and squared up to the end. And I'm just going to use a spray arc MIG for this right here. You could use MIG, you could use anything. This is 3/16 to 1/4. So we're just going to use a spray arc MIG all the way around 4 sides to get these things buttoned up, and this project will be complete. So let's.
All right, so just like the other one, we need to shim this up to fit, and you can see I put a piece of 3/16 plate on the bottom to get it equally spaced all the way around. And once I got that done, just get a square on there. Everything is looking pretty good. Now you're going to see when I bump the first tack in here that that bucket's actually going to move just about 1/16 of an inch right there. That is not going to be a big deal. I should have clamped it down, but that kind of movement is really doesn't really matter. Now, I said spray arc MIG here, and that's what I'm doing because I do like that process, especially when you get to 3/16 and a little bit thicker. You can use anything here. You could be stick welded, TIG welded, MIG welded. You can do anything. And actually, the plans actually call for, on this project, it only welded on 2 sides, not all 4 sides. But I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around. I just feel it's better that way. It's stronger that way, and it makes for a good-looking project anyway. All right, again, working by myself here. Things are heavy. I've always got to try to figure out how to move things around. I believe a gantry is going to be in the works here one of these days. I'm just getting these things all lined up. We're getting ready to get them loaded on the truck in the morning. They need to get out to the job site. So just finishing up right here. You can see that I've got it. I got them shimmed up, that 1 inch there and 1 inch here, and then just getting them squared up. Now this is a pretty cool little shot I thought I'd throw in right here of the burn in going all the way around. I don't know. I just try to capture the coolest shots I can while I'm doing this, and I just happened to notice this when I was doing one of the others. Pretty cool. 3 out of the 4 complete. I got to say, this process right here, welding these caps on, literally took about 2 minutes each. It's very fast. It's very quick. And, it worked out really good. All right, so there's all the 4 caps welded on the top. That worked out really good. Pretty happy with that. And then also the 4 plates. That was fun doing all the different process there. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to check out my website at JIMBO'sGarage.com. I've got some torch lead holders over there, MIG, TIG, stick, and angle grinders. Got some shirts and some hats. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and check us out on Facebook. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.